Looks like we're live. My phone just told me we were live. So tonight we have a very lovely episode for you. We watched 47 Meters Down is the actual title of the movie. Fuck was that?
That was on mute.
Oh, shit. I don't know. What other movies there? Oh, yeah. Pontypool. And then the first half of Daredevil, season 1. And that'll be the end of the show because obviously everybody wants to talk about that. First of all, are you fucking kidding me with this Transformer shit?
No, I read it.
Tell me you're lying to me.
Nope, 100%. I read that online, and I wanted to ruin your day.
It definitely ruined my day. I am fucking livid. Like, I was like, there's no way that this is real life because that's bullshit.
Are you going to go see it now, just to get so upset?
Listen, it will turn into that episode of South Park where they fucking hunt down Mel Gibson for their money back, except I'll just hunt down Michael Bay and kill.
I just don't get it. So, like, they spent 5 movies.
So the rumor he told me the other night while I was getting trashed, apparently in Transformers 5, Unicron is the Earth, which is fucking bullshit. Because that turns everything in the Transformers world upside down from what it was supposed to be. Unicron's supposed to be the superest, biggest badass in the whole fucking place. He's basically the Galactus of the Transformers world, and we're living on him, and we need him to survive, I guess, so that makes him a good guy. And fucking, that means the Autobots are dickheads, and no, that doesn't fucking work. It's so fucking stupid. I'm already getting pissed off again at this. Like, I fucking hate Transformers movies. They're ruining my fucking childhood. Every bit of my fucking childhood.
Yeah, and apparently, like, the after credit scene, it, like, shows one of the shots sticking out. The people got to go look at it, because it's Unicron. They spent 5 movies protecting Unicron.
Fuckers. Fucking... No. It's fucking bullshit. That's exactly what it is. I'm so...
Pretty much the text I got back from you was just like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I didn't hear from you for 3 days. I thought you might have died.
I fucking hunting people. Obviously, I've got to make this right. And if there's a savior for this world, it's going to be me putting goddamn Michael Bay's head on a stake.
Well,
I hope you're listening to this. No, he said that the last 3 goddamn movies. And he systematically ruined every last bit of the goddamn Transformers universe I knew and loved.
Yeah. In this one, like, I hope you go see it, and I hope it's just, like, the opening scene is just Grimlock and, like, Hot Rod lined up against the wall getting fucked to death. Just to ruin everything for you.
Episode's over. Fuck this. I'm done. No. But I'm really fucking upset about the whole goddamn thing.
So you're not in on, like, these spin-off movies they're doing? These giant continuations, and, you know, we're getting Bumblebee?
Why? Unicron is supposed to be the bad guy. But I can't root for a bad guy if we're needing him to survive. Fuck him. Fuck this, fuck that, fuck goddamn everything. My fucking goddamn favorite characters are fucking ruined. Like, fucking stupid. Every last bit, I'm fucking drunk. Fuck this.
I'm so glad that you're the angry one tonight. I'm just happy.
So pissed. Goddamn it, I'm pissed. But of bright news, did you blood drive?
I did not. Would you like to tell me about the shit show?
Awesome.
No.
It was fucking awesome. Now we're bringing it back around. I'm getting happy again. Yeah, they've deviated from just being an all-out race, and it's actually just like episodic little grindhouse movies, and it's great.
Sounds awful.
This one, they stopped at a diner where they were just cutting up people and serving it as meat to people. And then cannibals came and basically fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? They fucked with everybody's cars. So they wouldn't start when they ran out there. So the cannibals attacked. So they not only had to fight the goddamn butcher, they also had to fight cannibals. And the dude got electrified to start the car because they just cut wires. Why not? 10 out of 10. It's a great show.
Nope. I'm glad I didn't waste any of my time.
Great show. And there was something else that I was going to be pissed off about, but I just can't. I can't anymore.
You just can't be pissed about things anymore? Come on.
I can't do it. I can't. I refuse.
Somebody's got to yell tonight.
It's fucking great. God damn it. Moving on. Let's talk about fucking 47 Meters Down, or whatever the fuck the movie is. The one with Mandy Moore. Candy. I don't know.
It's a Mandy Moore shark movie. Why wouldn't you like this?
It is the least threatening goddamn movie I've ever seen in my life. It's like
it's Big Baby Euro.
Every 20 minutes, it's like, oh fuck, that's this. Oh yeah, it's a shark. Obviously, that's scary, but like, fucking.
Oh, it builds tension really well. Very well.
Did it?
Yeah.
That shit. I don't believe that at all. They got put in the goddamn cage. They were literally in there for 5 minutes. It dropped. And then they're just screaming for the entire movie, like, "Come save us! Come fucking save it!" See, I'm just fucking still pissed off from Autobots. I can't do this. Breathe. That's good.
It does get grating. That it is a lot of just like, oh, come save us. This is kind of grating. Illogical. Like, they should be saving their oxygen instead of screaming and wasting it all. But I feel they're semi-realistic in what they try to do to get out of the situations. You know? They're not being dumb about it.
I think this movie could have worked a lot better if they would have cut it a little bit differently. And I know I say that about a bunch of movies lately because, like, I guess that's what I'm looking for. All in all, it's an alright movie so far. I feel like with Mandy Moore being the main actress, like, it's a lot more PG than it could be. Like,
I think the problem with it is that it takes place 90% underwater, so the actors can't really act. You know, their faces are covered in scuba gear, so you don't really get acting. But the problem is the ending of the movie. That's where the problem lies.
Oh, no! What's the end of the movie? Full disclosure, I'm 15 minutes away from the ending.
So where are you at?
Okay, let's see here. The whole thing collapsed. The crane came after it. They had to kick it off. And the whole time, like, they're just bleeding like crazy. Like, they're just fucking throwing blood everywhere. They're like, watch out for sharks, because, you know, I'm quicker than a shark. Blood every fucking where. She has to, like, swim up 5 meters so they can communicate with the boat. They realize they're still alive, so they send out one of the guys on the boat to hook a secondary winch to the cage and drag him up. Surprise, he's shark food. So then she swims over, grabs the winch.
The problem with that is that his flashlight's floating there alone, and she goes out to get it and spins in main circles, and all of a sudden he pops into the screen. He's like, "Oh hey!" And then a shark eats him. It's 2 jump scares out of nowhere for no reason.
Yeah,
that's probably
yeah.
part.
Actually, it's like 5 fucking jump scares, like rapid fire.
Yeah, because then she swims away and the shark spits his body at her for some reason to scare her again. It's ridiculous.
Just see this guy, like the guy just swam to the bottom of the fucking floor of the ocean. Like, I thought they said they were here, and he's just swinging around a flashlight. It's something else. But talking about it like this, I'm enjoying it a little bit more. How ridiculous the whole thing is. So then they're running out of air. They get the secondary winch hooked up. That's pulling them to the top, and you're like, that fucking shark is gonna come by and like, fuck your cable. I'm gonna eat all of you. Doesn't happen. The cable just snaps, and like they're plummeting to the goddamn ocean floor again. And then they're like, oh, fuck, we're way out of air. So they're like, listen, I'm going to send some tanks down, have some more air. The Coast Guards are going to deal with this. I'm sure we got drugs on this boat. I got to get out of here.
Well, yeah, it's Matthew. He's got to get out.
That's all I imagine the end of the, like, it's going to be Coast Guard rescuing him. And they're like, where'd the other guys go? And they're like, what other guys? And the one guy is going to be the other guy on the boat just with a Coast Guard hoodie, and he's just going to pull it over his eyes. And they just shove fucking drugs under a bench. That's how I hope this movie ends. So how's it really end?
So that's as far as you got?
Yo.
Did the sister get the tank yet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the second time the cage fell on Mandy Moore's fucking leg. And then it turned into a fucking 127-hour situation where now she's got to carve off her leg or some fucking shit.
Okay,
something that involves her bleeding a lot more.
So you saw the sister get the tank.
Yep.
Then you saw the sister.
Like, oh, boom, shark.
Just boom, shark just rails her. Mandy Moore stuck under. Her leg stuck under it. She uses the harpoon gun because she has a harpoon gun but doesn't shoot the shark when it's circling her sister for any reason. Uses the harpoon gun. Situation. Uses the harpoon gun to like hook onto the tank outside the cage, pull it in, and she's
I want to make this very clear. Doesn't use the gun. Uses the harpoon and just keeps throwing it like goddamn she's in jail and trying to get the keys off the edge of the goddamn wall hook. Comes down to her last breath. It's all or nothing. Fucking hooks it, pulling it in. The cable like rips her hand, blood everywhere again, and fucking it like she tears her hand, hurts herself, and then boom, out of air. So she's like, oh shit, I should probably grab this other tank before I die. And then she has never been scuba diving for this, so she has no fucking idea how to hook on the tank. So you just see her like almost choking to death. She's like, I'm sure it was a lot of her Disney years or some shit. I don't fucking know. But that's as far as I got.
Gets the tank switch. She's like, oh God, I'm stuck in this cage. Boom. Sister starts messaging her on the radio.
This fucking movie. Oh, yeah?
Sister's like...
Could you imagine if, like, they're actually, like, aliens and, like, other animals' DNA, like, morphs with them and then they become shark girls?
You saying this is a secret Animorphs movie?
I want that one better now.
Sister's like, yo, I'm fucked. There's blood everywhere. I'm gonna die. Mandy Moore's like, I got this.
You're 5 feet from the cage. Get over here, stupid.
So Mandy Moore, like, takes her vest off, sticks it under the cage, and inflates it to get her leg out. Rips ton of skin off her leg, blood everywhere. swims over to the sister. You notice where the sister is because there's just fucking blood everywhere. She's just bleeding like a motherfucker out of her leg. And she's like, we got to get out. Okay, we're going. You're gonna bleed to death. We got to go. So they start swimming up. And something I didn't know, they're like, we're just going to use these flares to scare the sharks away. Because sharks...
That's the one part I wanted to see from the goddamn trailer. It's like, oh, they just fucking pop flares and there's just like 18 sharks around them.
Yep. So they're swimming up, and Matthew Modine's like, you're going to get the bends. You got to stay here for 5 minutes. And so, like, they got a flare, and they're shooting it at the sharks and stuff. And, yeah, they do that dumb horror movie thing where it's completely black, and they pop a flare, and there's, like, 4 sharks just trying to bite at them. They're like, oh, no, it's light, and they back off.
It's actually shark make-out hour, and they're just like,
So they swim up, flare runs out, sharks are coming, Modine's just like, fuck it, swim. You get to the top.
Wait. Sharks are afraid of light?
I don't know. So they dump all their gear, and they swim up to the surface. And they're a little bit from the boat, and he's all like, swim! And he throws the fucking lifesaver at him, and they're dragging him in. Boom, shark bites Mandy Moore. Just starts tearing at her leg. She gets away. They start dragging him up off the boat, and the shark jumps out of the water and grabs Mandy Moore again.
God damn it, now I've got to see the last 15 minutes of the goddamn movie.
Drags her under. She just starts up close gouging the shark in the fucking eye. She's just like in prison thumbing it right in there to get loose. They drag her up on the boat. Fucking her legs all ripped up. The sister's legs all ripped up. And they're like, yeah, we got you. They're putting medicine on them. And she's like, huh, that's weird. Boom, it was all hallucination. She's still stuck in the cage.
Oh, Christ. I knew that was going to come back because when they set down the second set of tanks, they're like, you're going to imagine stuff because there's nitro blitz bullshit.
Yeah, so she imagines the entire third act of the movie.
So wait, is her sister still in the cage with her, safe?
Nope, sister got fucking knocked in the head by a shark.
Oh, that is wonderful. So, like, does it end with her just in the cage, like, oh, I'm fucked?
She's like, no, she's in the cage, and she's all like, yay, we made it, we're done. And the Coast Guard's like, yo, bitch, you crazy? And they're swimming her up, and she's like, we made it, sister, it's so great. It's a really bad ending.
I forgot the best part. This whole movie takes place because Mandy Moore's boyfriend broke up with her because she's too boring. And her sister talked her into going swimming with sharks because that's not what a boring girl would do. And then they wanted to take all these pictures of her swimming with the sharks, and it's just... Whew.
Except they can't, because they drop their camera immediately and a shark eats it.
Yeah, apparently sharks ate technology as well.
That shark murdered that camera.
First clean kill of the movie, that little yellow camera. Whew.
But it's
Mandy Moore was a real whore too. Real whore. They danced in the sand, and like she's like, I don't want to kiss you, and then like ran back and like, I'm a whore. So,
you got some weird gender politics going on here.
She's just a goody two shoes. So like all that stuff was just way out of her character.
She was trying to push herself and not be boring. Would a boring girl make out with a Mexican guy on the beach she doesn't know? No.
Who knows anymore? Who knows? Solid flick. 5 out of... You watch it with our commentary now. I bet you enjoy it way more. Want to make a shark movie?
No.
Come on, let's make some shark movies.
Oh,
All like some shark movies. It's an alright flick. Definitely worth a rent. I want to go fucking see that in theaters.
Oh.
I mean, I might see it tomorrow. Maybe I'll get super loaded and trashed and go see it in the theaters tomorrow.
And just listen to all the little girls scream. Somebody's gonna scream when that shark comes out.
There's like, I don't know, 10 jump scares. Each one, I'm just gonna quit fucking yelling. I don't know. Check it out. Under the 47 meters, I don't know. Shark and Manny Moore. It's that movie.
It's much better than whatever shit you made me watch last week.
I don't believe that. It was a real trash movie.
Good trash. I picked good trash. Entertaining trash.
I made it entertaining. It was a real chore of a movie.
It was not. It was a chore.
I mean, it definitely was, just because the way we watched it made...
The way you watched it, I paid hard-earned money to see it in the theater.
Liar.
Nope.
Totally worth going to see it in the theater, and tell them I sent you, because I saw it in theaters as well.
I just didn't finish it. You walked out early to the podcast.
I was like, shit, I got a podcast to do, so. That's 47 meters down? Whatever. The fuck the movie? On to the next movie, I suppose. Wait, yeah. Was there any other news or anything that we had to talk about?
Do you want to talk about Watchmen?
Boy, do I. I don't know what it is, but I know I'm already upset about it. Oh, it's
I sent you the link. Do you not remember how outraged you were when I sent you the link?
I can imagine. I think I just remember. That's the one, yep. Just ruining shit since forever. That fucking guy.
How long you don't hold this grudge? I feel like 90% of the show is you bitching about Lindelof.
Forever. You know what else has pissed me off? I fucking don't want to watch Game of Thrones, but I'm pretty sure I'm fucking gonna have to. Because I want to see goddamn Clegane Bowl.
It ain't gonna happen.
It's definitely gonna happen.
Ain't happening.
I bet you it happens at the end of this season.
I bet you it doesn't.
It's gonna be episode 8 or whatever. It's bullshit. I don't want to watch it. It's dead to me. It's dead to me as Transformers is dead to me. Fucking all bullshit.
Oh, I'm glad you're the one in a pissy fucking mood tonight. Change of pace.
Shoulda curbed it. I knew I shouldn't have gone after it.
What it was, the Han Solo shit went down this week between last episode.
They just got fired, didn't they?
Oh, they straight up got fired.
Good. Fuck Star Wars. Fuck everything.
Yeah, I forgot you're the asshole who doesn't like Star Wars.
Listen, I want to like Star Wars, but it's not a unified vision anymore, so it's just all fucking horseshit.
Literally, they fired these guys because they didn't want to follow their unified vision. I'd say they got a pretty straight and narrow track on what they want.
It's a real loose goddamn vision.
I think it's pretty fucking clear that it's whatever Kathleen Kennedy wants it to be. And Lawrence Kasdan. Those two, if you piss them off, you're done. And that's why they brought in fucking Ron Howard. Maybe we'll get fucking Han Solo.
The Truman Show in space?
I was hoping to be like Angels and Demons or whatever that movie was. The Da Vinci Code. Like, you're going to find out Han Solo is a descendant of Jesus. That's what happens in that movie, right?
He's smuggling art to find out, to decode the whatever bullshit letter. He's going to solve Jesus' murder from smuggling art.
And then Boba Fett's chasing him, and he's an albino who whips himself and stuff. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's gonna make
he just shows up and just shows up in every bar is like, don't try shooting me, because I'll shoot you first. I'll always shoot first.
Because I shot first. Oh,
I always shoot first. Fucking, yeah.
He just goes around, he just, like, comes around a corner and there's a whole family of Greedos. He just lays them all out. I told you I shoot first.
Fuck out of my way. It's my seats. It's a real shit show. Tight ship.
Well, I mean, at this point, there have been troubles with the past 3 movies now, and it all comes down to vision, so they're just straight getting rid of all these people. They're cool with it. So.
One motherfucker needs to just sign a multi-fucking movie deal and be done with it.
Yeah, I hope it's Peter Jackson, and he just gives us over-bloated 3-hour-long Star Wars movies that everyone hates.
Just hobbits in space. It's literally hobbits redone just with fucking the Millennium Falcon.
They fly the Falcon into fucking Mount Doom to throw this lightsaber at it or something. Yeah, that's how they defeat Snoke.
Bunch of goddamn dwarfs and goddamn barrels and racing down a lava mountain at Darth Vader's house.
They just... There's a huge battle. Big space battle. Empire versus the Rebels, and then just giant eagles come in. And they take everyone out.
Just fucking up all the goddamn everybody's.
And then
like
there's
eagles are gonna rule the world.
And then just a bunch of fucking Ewoks singing a song about a mountain for 45 minutes.
I'm in. Fucking yeah, fuck yeah, Ewoks. I'd take a whole Ewok movie over Ewoks? Whatever the fuck they've been doing. Listen, I'll take an Ewok movie over a fucking Han Solo movie any day.
No.
You take that to the bank.
You would get no money, sir.
What if I hope they pit those together now and they're like, whatever series beats it out, like that one's gonna get a trilogy made for it. I'd see that Ewok movie at least 1,000 times just to boost its numbers.
It's whatever.
I got nothing. That's all I got for that shit.
And then I guess the last thing of news was Venom is R-rated and it's gonna have Carnage in it. No, I'm pretty sure we talked about this before, and now this movie can straight fuck off.
I want all of the Carnage, all of it.
I hope they just bring in all of them, like all 12 dumb symbiotes, the purple one and the neon green one, and just ruin this right out the gate, Sony.
Just Sinister Six, fuck that. The Carnivore 12. Carnivorous 12? Fuck it. All of them. And they're all Tom Hardy. They're all Tom Hardy's different characters for movies. So they just
it's like that.
Train wreck all those movies.
It's like that dumb movie he did where he played twins. He just played all those things.
Bingo. Then they don't have to hire more people. It's just a Tom Hardy flick at that point.
Yeah, just pay him once, have him play 7 characters.
Call it Bronson 2. Done.
Just hanging dong everywhere, because that's all he did in that fucking movie.
Here you go, Sony. We'll take our check tomorrow. Fucking making you movies and shit. But I'm super excited about Carnage. No,
it's so dumb.
It really is. But I'm fucking... You know what? They trashed my fucking Transformers. I want everybody's fucking fandoms ruined now. Fuck it. Burn them all to the ground.
Let's just raise it all. Start over. Salt the fucking earth.
Everywhere. What? Just go up to random people like, what do you like? Because that's what we're ruining next. Fuck it. Fuck it all. Did you see Pontypool?
I did. Are you gonna tell me how much you fucking hated it?
Great fucking movie.
See, so good.
solid fucking flick. Started out about radio, and I was like, I was tiptoeing in. I was like, I'm alright with this. got more into the radio. It's just an old disgruntled fucking radio host. Just hates being on the radio anymore. Really fucking awesome. Twist comes out of nowhere. Kinda. That's it.
Build to it.
You talk about your movie now.
Oh no, it's like you said, it's like a kind of a morning radio jock who has been fired for being over aggressive and blunt, and he's now working in this very small town in Canada. Goes into work one day, and slowly news reports start coming in over the police radio and like from their helicopter guy that something's going down. And it's this real small chamber piece of what's essentially a zombie outbreak just told through the information coming through the radio, which is a super cool twist to it. Makes it small, intimate, very disorienting.
I wouldn't even say zombies. I don't say zombies anywhere because
we didn't get to
felt
that
like a new monster.
Yeah. But it takes its limitations. It's 3 people in a fucking radio room, and it just builds this tension great by sound design and what people are saying, and these frenzied accounts. It's really engrossing. It really drags you in. And then it gets kind of crazy in the back half, where it's the English language is a virus that's infecting these people, and it's all about our perception of words and how we understand language. But I think it's super interesting. I don't know. It
really felt like it took 1984 and flipped it on its head, or War of the Worlds and flipped it on its head. Like where radio started this huge conspiracy, but like it was people calling into this, and is it a conspiracy or is it like actual like outbreak type scenario? So fucking loved it.
Yeah, it's got a great lead performance. Like that dude has a fucking voice, and he just chews those monologues up. It's great. It's super weird and esoteric and just interesting. And I've seen this movie before. I've tried to make you watch it before.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, 100%. I know I have.
Lies. Fake news.
But that's the point I'm getting to. Fake news. It seems much more relevant in our cultural landscape now. The idea
when was this fucking movie made?
Oh shit! I honestly don't know. You'd have to look it up.
It honestly felt like a really new movie.
Oh, I saw it 5 or 6 years ago, I think.
I don't believe that. I mean, lying to me now.
No.
We're looking it up now.
Fine, look it up.
2008.
Take your time.
God damn it.
Yeah, almost 10 years ago.
Fuck you, then.
But, like, there's that undercurrent writing, and what's great about sci-fi and horror genre is, you use it to examine what goes on in the cultural landscape now, and that's what good fiction like that's centered on. And, this whole movie is about, media and how what's being put out there is perceived, and, do they have the right to say this without confirming it, and is what they're saying valid to be said, or is it making it worse, which is super in the forefront of what's going on right now in our media and everything.
It was also really cool, the translated message, kind of like they were trying to kill off all the English speakers, and it's really odd for this being like a middle of Canada where they speak both English and French. It's kind of felt like they're just trying to thin the herd without anybody knowing about it first and foremost. So all shot in like one little area, and it's fucking gripping as shit. So watch it if you haven't. It's on Netflix.
It's one of those things where that could be done as a stage production. Like you could go do that as a play,
Sure.
And I just think it's super interesting. I really enjoy that movie. And I like little weird things like that. So
I will accept your next recommendation.
yeah, I got you one. You liked one movie I've recommended.
I'll give you 1.5. I mean, 47 is not that bad, and plus I have to finish that last goddamn 15 minutes.
It's better than last time I picked something weird, and you came back being like,
listen, I was all ready for it. I was like, fucking goddamn it. It's going to be one of those, and I was just going to have to fucking pay attention and see what straws I can grasp at. And then, like, it started in, and I was immediately hooked, so.
Well, no, that beginning monologue hooks you so quick when he's talking about Pontypool and Pontilac and the missing cat. It's just the language and the use of it. It's just so interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And plus, me going to school for radio and all that other shit, like, this movie was made for me to like, so. Go see it. If you fucking haven't yet, see it now.
It's on Netflix.
Based on my recommendation, not Luke's, because.
Fuck me, right?
His words, not mine.
It was an invitation.
What's that?
I said it was an invitation. We're starting our cam show, right? Right?
I guess. Okay, so with those out of the way, the real deal of the night is going to be Daredevil. Full disclosure, up to this point, I've only seen Iron Fist of the Netflix series. So now we're starting to watch the other series leading into the Defenders. So we'll be watching a little bit each week leading into it. So this was the first 6 episodes, and it was alright.
Yeah. You were the one. It's so weird because, like, I think Iron Fist dropped on, like, the 2nd or 3rd episode of when we first started the show back on YouTube. And I was like, oh, we're watching Iron Fist. And you're like, I haven't seen any of those things. And it just blew my mind. I was like, and then we started with Iron Fist. And I was like, it's not good.
So when I started at cons was right as Daredevil came out. And, like, I just missed the boat on it. So I just started lying about seeing them all, and it just picked up enough so I could keep conversations rolling. And, like, once Luke Cage came out and I didn't see it, I was like, I'm buried. There's no way I'm going to be able to see those. But we got on track, and I'm glad I did. Because it's like Luke said, Iron Fist is definitely the worst. I'm assuming from everybody else's reactions. But it's such a great fucking viewpoint going from the worst to what I believe is the best with Daredevil season 1. The choreography is fucking great. The fucking camera angles are fucking glorious. Like, that show is shot so beautifully. It's ridiculous. And I'm upset with myself that I haven't seen it for 2 years.
Yeah, there was a reason, like, I'm not going to say I did. I'm a huge Daredevil mark, so of course I loved it. But there was a reason it got good reviews coming out the gate. And it's so different that, you know, it was all MCU movies, how bright and fun those movies are, and then it goes into this, which is so tonally different, which is interesting. But I just don't – there's shit that, like, it's so weird that you're watching it out of its way. Because you already know Madame Gao is, like, with the hand.
Yeah, that was a little bit – like, I know nothing really happens to her unless, not necessarily because in Iron Fist, like, they did show that they can revive people. Obviously, I'm guessing that nothing happens to her because she's so revered in this series that, like, it seems like she's the figurehead of all of them that, like, are, this conglomerate of bad dudes.
So we'll start. Let's start here. Do you have any knowledge of Daredevil outside of that very awesome Ben Affleck movie?
Wait a second. Let's start here. You tell me about your love for, because Daredevil is your favorite character, right?
It's up there. Like, it would be like Spider-Man, Batman, Daredevil. Like, it's probably about how it would go.
I thought we talked about this like a couple weeks back, and you said Daredevil was above Spider-Man for you.
Oh, no, Spider-Man has that emotional thing of, like, it was the first comic I read, and I latched onto it when I was a kid. Spider-Man sucks now, and Dan Slott can go fucking die, because I want someone else to be writing that fucking book, so I can read it and enjoy it again. But
maybe that's what I saw. I don't know.
But, no, Daredevil's great. I got into it when Marvel Knights came out and Kevin Smith and Joe Quesada rebooted it. And then I went back to like the Miller stuff, and I've read Miller stuff, which is great, and I've read the Innocenti John Romita Jr. stuff, which is great. And the Smith stuff's okay; it doesn't really hold up, but then it goes into Mac, and then it goes into Bendis's. Before Bendis was a pile of shit writer, and like it's so good. And even like the tight spot he leaves the character on when he leaves the book, Brubaker came in and did really good. Then Diggle wrote it for a little bit, and his arc is real shit, and I would stay away from it. But then Wade came on. Mark Wade's run is just amazing and so good. And Charles Soule's writing it right now. And it's okay. It really hasn't grabbed me like the other ones, but there's stuff in those books that are just brilliant. Like, it's so good character work. The duality of a lawyer and a vigilante and a Catholic and just great characters. Like, Kingpin's so cool and Bullseye's amazing. Electro.
So with talking about that, leading into this first episode, they give him a backstory and kind of talk about his dad and whatnot. Is that in line with the books then, and in his actual origin story?
Yeah, for the most stuff on what is gone. His dad was a boxer, and you know that. You'll get into more of his origin story stuff later in the season on the other part. But it's just great, man. Like, I can't recommend enough. Like, if you want to read a good Daredevil story, go find Frank Miller's Born Again. It's fucking perfection. That book is so good.
Yeah, like the episodes this first half of the season, I can only imagine it gets better from here, but it did such a great job of building up all the characters involved. Like, it didn't leave anybody to the side. Like, it's given each one of them spotlights, and like, unlike Iron Fist, where like you'd have one good shot, like it's every fucking scene is great. Moving on to every great scene, and like there's 5 or 6 great scenes each episode. So it's like going from Iron Fist to this is fucking night and day, like literally, because it's so much better than that Iron Fist was.
Yeah, no, I think I said it to you when we were talking about Iron Fist, where it's ridiculous to think that, you know, the immortal Iron Fist is supposed to be the greatest master of Kung Fu until they bring in Shang-Chi, which they probably won't. But I've seen fucking Daredevil, a blind ninja who's doing things a million times cooler than Iron Fist ever did or could, you know?
Yeah. Let's get into the episode. Or did you want to say any more?
No, let's start breaking it down however you want to go. Because I thought, like, when I looked into where to do the break, because I didn't know if I wanted to do 6 this week or 7 and where to do the break, but I felt this is a great stopping point because...
Let me tell you, I burned through 4 episodes last night just to make sure, because I didn't know if I'd have enough time today. So, literally got 2 done Friday night. Was hoping to get 2 done each night till didn't happen Saturday, and then just burned through them last night. And got to the end of the 5th episode, I was like, that would be kind of a great cliffhanger to hang on, but like there's no way I could stop after that cliffhanger. So I was like, fuck, 1 more episode.
Yeah, and I felt like 6, it wraps up the Russians arc. It kind of closes off that first arc, and it brings Kingpin full and center finally. But yeah, let's break down however you want to break down these episodes. I have no topic.
Story that he fucking leads off with the Murdoch brothers, like, fucking set up everything. Like, talking about them having the devil inside of them, like just to fucking hook me out of the gate. It's like, him telling about his dad, like, he'd fucking get, like, a random hit, and he'd just fucking go to a different personality and just fucking destroy people. Like, that set up his dad to be extremely intimidating, and, like, it just, by knowledge of him being his son, like, it just creeped into his intimidation, and then you see him just fighting, and he's just fucking wrecking houses.
Yeah, and that ties into, like, what Matt unleashes once he becomes Daredevil. You know, he's that full-on the devil. He's beating the shit out of these people. Like, the violence is very high in this series. That's another tonal difference.
Yeah, it's so crazy that it's there's no there's a couple slow-mo spots, but it's so quick fucking, and like you feel every hit, and it's just insane how much action is packed into these fucking episodes, let alone each scene. Like, the fight isn't a few punches and then Iron Fist fucking summons his hand and just, I guess, gets one good shot. It's like, no, he's fucking working for those fights to fucking kill some people, and or not necessarily kill them, but definitely put them down.
Yeah, I mean, I to jump right into, like, when this show came out, the fucking thing that blew everyone's mind, and watching it again, it's so great, that hallway fight in episode 2. Like, you see him get winded by the end, you know? You see the effects this fight has on somebody.
And then, well, in that first episode, the apartment fight when he goes to save her when she's retrieving that USB drive, like, in the night where it's in the rain, like, that fucking just looks so fucking gorgeous. It, like, literally looks right out of the comic books, and, like, the framing and everything for those shots. Like, that's probably my favorite fight up to this point, with the hallway being very close second. And, like, I completely forgot about the hallway scene until, like, they showed the end of the hallway, and I was like, oh my god, this is what everybody's talking about. So I was totally so excited for that hallway. Like, there's 2 hallway signs that fights that I'll always remember, and the first one's going to be Old Boy, but this one's definitely second.
Yes. But, like, it definitely just, it hits the ground running, being like, this is the same world where, you know, there's a guy frozen since 1947 and now is freed, and there's a talking tree and raccoon. Like, it's the same world, but it's completely different tone. It brings it down to this level. And I really like the low-key way they do his powers. Like, you know, they'll do like a soft focus on his face so you can notice he's hearing something. It's not overt. Yeah.
And, like, it sees him, like, kind of swimming through the different sounds, and, like, he kind of pinpoints sounds and ties them to different things. And, like, the way they showed it and didn't say was so well done. And, like, rather than Iron Fist just saying, like, I have a fucking fist and I can punch anything.
Yeah, like, they trust that you're smart enough to know that he's listening to her heartbeat to tell if she's lying. He doesn't have to be like, I'm a human lie detector, I can know if you're lying. Like, it's smart enough to let it go. There's a lot of trust. I think almost uniformly the cast is great. Charlie Cox is great in that role. I never watched enough Boardwalk Empire to see when he came on, but I remember him from Stardust. You remember that movie?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's the lead in that movie.
Completely. That's ridiculous. Beyond. Just so I'm sure, like, that's De Niro in a fucking flying pirate ship, right?
Yeah, dressing in drag.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, that's not. I think I'm glad you, like, enjoy all the characters, but I still think some of them are underwritten. It takes a few episodes before Karen actually starts doing something.
What was the big thing about that was, since I watched those first 2 episodes right away, seeing Karen, like, basically it was her first episode, and then it felt like it was going to shift where it was going to be very episodic, and, like, I felt like he was going to take on a different case every episode, and then it shifted when it hit the third episode, and then she became an actual character. But like those first two episodes, and then her getting caught up in this web of lies and shit with her previous employer, trying to figure things out without anybody else's help. Like, also when her and Foggy have that moment in when their first date or whatever.
What the fuck? Creep ass moment where she's like, touch my face?
Listen, that was really fucking creepy. Because
super creepy.
It was. I couldn't figure out if she was upset that Daredevil had never done it to her, but like she just wanted that now, or like she just wanted to experience what it would be. I don't know. Super fucking creepy though.
It's creepy and it's so humiliating to Foggy. It's just like, hey, what about your hot partner and best friend? I want you to touch my face like he would. Like, it's so bad.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like Foggy's kind of an ill-defined character still at this point. He's just kind of superfluous comic relief at times.
I really enjoy him in that role. I'm guessing he fills out a little bit more in the second half of the season.
Rosario is great in this.
Dude, so much more respect for her because she was kind of just a shit rolling Iron Fist. Like, she fucking gets her hands dirty legitimately in this episode, or this season, this first half of the season, and like keeps patching him up. And like that was the coolest thing, is like this isn't fucking days between episodes. It's like it's either the next day or literally the next hour, like taking place over these episodes. So it was crazy to see that unfold.
And there's elements of what's probably, if someone's gonna pick apart Daredevil stuff, it's the easiest go-to. The term, fridging a woman might come from Green Lantern, but like Daredevil has the worst treatment of women character probably ever. Like, they are nothing more than to pile guilt onto Matt more and more. And there's an element to that in that show. Like Karen gets abused, but at least she fights back. And Claire gets there, but at least comes back. But it's that close to being exploitive of the women.
It's fair. Definitely fair. Yeah, with Karen taking it under her control and like trying to figure out more of this shit, and finding that news reporter that from the back in the day who actually did investigative work and shit like that. Like, so cool fucking seeing all that shit. Was really awesome. Just basically setting Matt up for success because he had that fucking ironclad, fucking iconic role to look up to. Like, yeah, he'd take punch after punch, but he'd still keep getting up, and like that's, you can definitely see that in the episode 3 to 6, like how he's standing in all of those episodes is fucking wild to me to even think about.
So then I guess, the last big part that we haven't touched on yet is Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin.
What a fucking pimp. What a fucking pimp. It really, like, you see this term anti-hero, and like it really felt like he was an anti-villain. Like, he is trying to do the best thing, but he knows he has to do very evil shit to accomplish it. And like, it makes you feel for him. Like, obviously this is my only getting to know the character, exposure to the character, so maybe you can have more insight on that. But like, that, all those scenes in the fucking art gallery are fucking perfect. Like, he has such an aura about him that he just, it's gonna be his way or fucking he doesn't even care about it in the slightest. And then the fucking SUV fucking scene.
I feel they did a really smart thing to try and, like you said, it humanizes the character. The first time we see him, they built up this myth of, we don't say his name, no one talks about the employer, it's all hidden through men. He's the top and he scares these people, but he never see him. And then the first time you see him, he's staring at a piece of art, telling someone how it feels lonely about it. And it shows that there's a sad side to him. He's a lonely person. He knows what he's doing for what he perceives to be, like you said, good. He's trying to build the city up, but he'll do that necessary shit to do it. And because of that, he doesn't have these relationships. And it really humanizes the character and makes that turn so much more violent when he fucking decapitates a man.
Well, just, like it's kind of like, he took a toy that I wanted, and, like, I might not be able to get to play with that toy ever again, so fucking he's gonna lose his goddamn head. Like, it was so badass, just fucking seeing him wield this actual, like, because the fight before he fucking gets him to the door, like, he fucking holds his own, and then some, like, against these badasses that were in that Russian prison, like, that could take all that shit, like, fucking mean.
Yeah, and it shows that, like, the first thing he yells when he pulls that man out, well, it's that great scene where Wesley's just like, yep, sure, he's on the passenger side, and that guy's just fucked. But
I figured he was just gonna get shot, so when he opens the door and just rips him out, I was like, oh shit, yes.
And the first thing, it's, you embarrassed me in front of her. That's what he's upset about. It's that he was caught being vulnerable with this woman and was embarrassed in front of it. And I really like that they don't play Vanessa for the fool. Like, she goes to dinner with him again, and she knows exactly what he is. She brings a gun with her. And basically at one point she's like, stop bullshitting me. I know you're doing this. Like, explain it to me.
Yeah, so the dinner date was great until she pulled her gun out, like, and pulled a fucking 22. Like, what are you gonna do with that? Come on, you couldn't hurt me with a 22 standing across the table from me. You're gonna take this badass out with a 22? Like, come on. Somebody fucking saw you coming and sold you a shit gun.
I like that the first interaction between the hero and the villain is just them talking.
And then they brought up the whole issue where they don't want to give each other names because that means the other person has that power over them then. Because they wouldn't have their name.
And it it's to the point, Matt is still blind in this sense. He does not know what Fist looks like. There's no record of him. He just has this voice in his head.
But he has fucking dead wife eyes.
Yes.
That's another great scene.
There's it's so good. There's complaints with all the Netflix series, including this one, that it probably goes on a couple episodes long. So we'll get to that probably next week to see. But rewatching these first 6 episodes are so tight. Like, it's just...
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it got to a point where I know it was the last 10 minutes because we already had 5 huge scenes, and this was going to be the last big scene. Like, and it always delivered. Like, up to the end of the Russian arc, like, when the Russian started to trust him and was like, all right, you go on ahead and I'll hold them off for you. But, like, I think he doesn't have any help going into that tunnel at the end of the 6th episode. Like, all the Russians are dead. Claire's banged up for better or worse. The neighbor kid, whatever. And, like, he's still just fucking with his half-battered body. Like, I'm excited to see the next episodes where they pick up and how fucking...
Not only that, but But, Fisk put out that videotape evidence, so now the entire city thinks he's a terrorist as well. He's literally back against the wall. Everyone's turned on him, and now he's trying to take down the biggest guy there is. So it's a real good setup for the back half. Yeah, just really good. I enjoy the shit out of it. Little stuff awesome. Like it's so good, but also as like a Daredevil fan to fucking like see Turk, who is a great recurring character from Miller's Run, be in there and just be in fucking Turk? The black guy who like sells the gun.
Okay.
He gets beat up.
Does that gun come up again?
No, it was just a little flourish there, which fucking creepy guy just breaking someone's face open with the bowling ball. Whatever that happened.
Great fucking scene. Because, like, all those fights have weight. Like, these people are actually... It feels like they're fighting against each other, and, like, either one could lose at any time, where it was a lot more lopsided than Iron Fist. So, like, it felt so refreshing to see these weighted fights and, like, them have to hold their own.
And like you said, it's great fight choreography, and they do it with panache. Like, there is trickery to the filmmaking. They're showing off, like, episode 4 maybe, when he follows the Russians in the cab with the blind guy in the back, and is doing this 360 through the camera in the cab. Like, it's gorgeous filmmaking. It's interesting.
Yeah. And I really think that they took their time on this series because it was going to be their lead. First foot forward and, like, definitely polished everything and made it as good as possible as they could. So, yeah. What a way to start the fucking Netflix series. Like, this gets me so excited for the other ones because they can't be as bad as Iron Fist, I guess.
No. Iron Fist is definitely the low bar. I don't hate that show with the passion a lot of people do. Like, I felt it was bad but watchable. It was a 47 meters of Netflix shows.
Oh, man. Can you imagine if Iron Fist turns into a shark?
It was all hallucination.
He's actually an Animorph?
Yes. I want Animorphs in the MCU.
Oh, God, that'd be great. All right, so that wraps up the first half of Daredevil. I'm assuming we're watching the second half for next week.
Yeah, we have to do half a season every week to be done for Defenders, so.
Perfect. So, we're watching that. Obviously, we're going to watch Baby Driver.
Yes.
We've both been fucking excited for this for the last couple months. What else do you want to watch?
Baby Driver is my most anticipated movie of the year. Like, I'm so down for that. Well, yeah. Yeah.
I thought Star Wars was yours.
No, I'd watch Baby Driver 100 times over.
Over Spider-Man?
Yep. I haven't seen a new Edgar Wright movie in 4 years. I need this. Plus,
what else
the goddamn trailer plays. The trailer has Radar Love, so of course I'm gonna be in.
Yeah, we're in for that. So what do you want to watch besides that then? Do you want to go Edgar Wright movies, or what do you want to do?
I don't know. What do you have access to?
Transformers 5?
Yeah, no, fuck you. God damn it.
Amazon, I've got Amazon and Netflix, so
I don't know if
or whatever I can rent. I have Edgar Wright movies like fucking the Coronado trilogy and fucking other stuff he's made.
He's done that in Scott Pilgrim. Those are the only
Scott Pilgrim, yeah, that's the one.
Well, do you want to do? We'll start at the beginning then. Let's do Sean, and then we'll compare it to Baby Driver.
All right, that sounds good. I'm done with that.
Cool. So, back half of Daredevil season 1. Baby Driver, Shaun of the Dead, whatever news comes up this week.
To be fair, if you want the Daredevil talk, it's definitely going to be the front half because I think we're going to end with Baby Driver and Sean next week. So if you enjoyed us talking about it this week, get here early next time because I definitely wanted to have this discussion with everybody so more people could be here for Daredevil since I'm late to the bus by 2 years. So
has it only been 2 years? Seems like it's been forever. Whatever.
Yeah, it has been 2 years. So Daredevil, Shaun of the Dead, and Baby Driver.
Sounds good. And then you have an update on Blood Drive.
Blood Drive! This time they're fucking going into a city and there's mutants and shit.
See?
It's gonna be super awesome.
So glad. Awesome. So glad.
Come on. You caught up, let's watch it. It's gonna be awesome.
No.
It's gonna be great.
Is it? I'll listen to you. It's gonna be so much better your 10-second recap than watching an hour of that horse shit.
Fuck you, man.
I feel weird. We didn't yell at each other tonight. It's weird. It's throwing me off.
Yeah, because I hated Babe for the first 10 minutes of the podcast. I'm gonna fucking murder him. Unless you're the NSA, listen to this and that's a lot of talk. But for real though, you don't know my life. So join us next week and we'll talk some shit and enjoy some movies and whatnot. So see you then.
Yeah, later, kids.
Our stuff. Peace.
Kill the pineapple.